So we have our Taiwan partnership, which is from the Asia Pacific region. We have three of the countries from LAC, Latin America and Caribbean, represented. We have the Kenya Space Agency from Africa. We have some representatives from the United States, the North America region. We also have a representative from Croatia from the Europe and Eurasia meeting, Europe and Eurasia region, apologies. And then we have a presentation from Oman for our Near East and North Africa region. So welcome and thank you all. I'm going to start with this first. There's the Q&A, the Padlet, which is in the chat as well. So the first question we're going to discuss is, what is your Globe story? How have you, in what your role is, engaged with Globe, and what impact has that had for your country or region? So we're going to start first with Pei Liang Lin from Taiwan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pei Liang Lin. Actually, Taiwan officially joined Globe in 2013, but the preparation began a year earlier with support from our National Science and Technology Council. Today, we have almost 70 global schools actively participating, contributing to Globe program and participate the IVSS GLE and Close Region and Close Borders campaign with countries like Philippines, Thailand, India, Mongolia, Korea, et al. We focus on the cultivation of students' foundation science education, the cooperation of the global Taiwan community, both internationally and domestically, the promotion of public science and outreach. Actually, our teacher quite appreciate the global program. They try their best to link global protocol to their curriculum. Like they use global observer to teach cloud identification. They combine mosquito, tree leaves, hydrology, and soil protocol to explore the Earth's environment. We have many global students inspired by global program. For example, in 2017, our Taichung Girls Senior High School student, Ms. Yang, presented for global research finding at global annual meeting. Her work was recognized by NCAR scientists, and she is more motivated by NCAR scientists and global program. Finally, she chose to pursue for study in atmosphere sciences. She just graduated from Department of Atmosphere Sciences of National Taiwan University and got a master's degree. And currently, just a few weeks ago, she went to Australia. Now she is a PhD student of University of Melbourne to seek her PhD degree on the Earth science, Earth system sciences. Actually, Taiwan have many international exchange program. For example, we have a student exchange with Thailand, Philippines, Nepal, India, Mongolia. We also have joined the global microplastic protocol development, contributing field testing and lab expertise to enhance detection methods through international cooperation. You can see we have many student exchange activity. We also have microplastic protocol development and testing. We have many global schools cooperated with Japan Nagoya Sanya University to join the CO2 monitoring project. The team has completed 3 research phases focused on CO2 and the environmental exploring and promoting green tree survey. In the past 2023 to 24 project, Kaohsiung Girls Senior High School expand their outreach to nearby schools, and they already successfully partner with Tianjin Junior High School. Together, they will conduct a joint observation and create a CO2 concentration map of their campus. Actually, Tianjin Junior High School hold an annual global inquiry exhibition, inviting community members to participate. The school also take part in science fair at the National Science and Technology Museum, showcase global learning and research achievement to the general public. So actually, our teachers and students are quite appreciated for the global program, and they also try to link the global program with the STEM education and SDGs education. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll move to the LAC region.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to share with you the 30 years of the Odyssey of Progress in GLOBE program. We started in Argentina in 1995, as many of countries, and here you can see a photo, a very old photo that represents one of the students and schools that start in Argentina. We start with 3 schools and 3 educators from Buenos Aires, and in 1998, the first group of students have participated in the GLE, and since the first, all the activities that was done by the GLE have the participation of Argentina. You can see the different years that represent the IBCS presentations, that there was increase year and year. From 2013 up to date, we have presented 67 projects, research reports, and also we have participated from the first working group that was launched in New Delhi, and Argentina joins the education working group. Now we are represented at the technology group and also in the science working group. We continue working virtually as many of countries because the pandemic, and we start offering a workshop by virtual sessions, and now we are working by virtual and present sessions from workshops. We increase schools, educators, students, etc. And here you can see some information about how many schools we are, how many educators, etc. And we continue increasing the program. And here you can see some photos, how the students work in the field and also in the classes. And I want to mention that it was very important, more or less, 7 years ago, I think I am in the correct years, that we have received the visit of Tony in Argentina, and it was very an excellent experience for students and teachers. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to explain how we are working and continue working in Argentina. Thank you so much.
I am Andrea Ventoso from Uruguay. I am the country coordinator. I want to quickly talk about some of the achievements in Uruguay. I have known the program since the beginning, 1995, because my former boss was the first coordinator of the program. And in 29, I was named the coordinator of the program. So some of the achievements, most of the achievements I am mentioning here, they were in my period of coordination. So I want to highlight, for example, the translation and updating of the 40 training modules to Spanish for the students and the teachers in Uruguay, because most of them don't know how to manage with English. We also managed to include secondary education in our workshops and courses, because at the beginning only included primary education. Also, we worked together with many of the countries in the LAC region, because we point to collaborative work. For example, the first virtual modules we implemented were with Peru and Argentina. And this is a way of collaboration we maintain till now, and we intend to do collaborative projects that lead to the IBSS also. So my active roles in GLOBE were from the beginning part of the GIAC, the Global International Advisory Committee. I was member of the Evaluation Working Group Committee as representative of the region. And also in the last year, part of the academic committee that wrote the learning activities for the region, and also one of the 3 leaders of the Trees Within LAC campaign since 2023. I have given also many international workshops in the region, and I have been also judged during the last 7 years for the IBSS. Here I want to show you some of the data of schools in Uruguay. We are geographically between Argentina and Brazil, so our activities are known mainly by Argentina, where is the regional office, and we have more than 300 educators and 300 globe observers, as you can see there, and more than 200 schools now in Uruguay. Some special strategies I implemented in my country were getting some grants from the embassy and from the ILACs, and the lending of instruments to teachers that help them do the activities at the school. Also, promotion of collaborative research and visits to do in-present workshops and activities at the schools. So I give my pass to Aline from Brazil. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. Brazil beginning the program in 2015, so we are doing now 10 years in the GLOBE program, and the program is coordinated by the Brazilian Space Agency. And in the beginning, we start with support with another country in the LAC, because we don't have trainers in Brazil. So Marta helped us with our first workshop with Claudia Cairo from Peru. And then in 2017, Rusty and René brings the Gold Mosquito campaign to Brazil. And from there, we start to work together with universities. Is an important partnership to Brazil, because Brazil are a large country, so we cannot travel for everywhere. So we go give trainings for the teachers, and the university with the professors and students help teachers improve globe in the school and do the research. And then we focus our workshop, our trainings in the Global Observers app protocols, because it's easier and cheaper to implement in the school. So you opt to work with a mosquito, clouds, tree, and land cover. We build some important projects with the universities. Zika bus is a bus to go through the south of Brazil and go to the school to do the mosquito protocol. And then you have Global Instinct in the northwest of Brazil, and also Girls in Space is another program we're doing in the northwest of Brazil. In the beginning, we always have face-to-face trainers, but when it comes the pandemic, we cannot do face-to-face, so we improve for online. And then 2021, we launched an online platform called IB Escola Virtual. Is a platform for classes about space for the whole community, even students, teachers, and undergraduate students. So until 2020, 2019, we have face-to-face activity, and then you start online. In 2022, we start to go back to the schools, but now you do hybrid trainings for the teachers, because we go in the school, give a practical activity, but they also have support from our platform. We collect a lot of data and we spread around the country.
Thank you. Thanks so much. You do wonderful work there, I know. Okay, we're going to turn it to Joan Tannen from Kenya Space Agency.
Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Joanne Tannen from the Kenya Space Agency. I oversee globe implementation. I hope you can hear me. Thank you. I work closely with the country coordinator in implementing globe in the country. So a background of globe in Kenya is, there was a bilateral agreement that happened in 1997, and then the program went a bit dormant until 2007, where it was picked up by the Kenya National Space Secretariat, which is now the Kenya Space Agency, where students were involved, teachers had a training, just being introduced on what globe is, what can you benefit from globe as teacher, as students, and how can it really have an effect in your STEM engagement in school. And then above and beyond, then came the partnership with the South African Hydrometeorological Organization, where the Kenya Space Agency, then the Kenya National Space Secretariat, is able to install automatic weather stations in selected globe schools. The reason for this was basically to help collect data across the country and introduce students also on ways of data collection, and through it to have them being introduced to research and basically data analysis. And then we went into a partnership also with the 3D printed automatic weather station, which was done by the university, an initiative of the University of University. University Corporation for Atmospheric Research, that is UCA, where we had the 3D printed automatic weather stations that we also installed across the country. And then the effect of all this is where we had a space challenge, just to have students do the same thing. Yeah, you've been given data of rainfall, you've been given data of temperature, you've been given data of soil moisture. How are you going to solve the problem that you've been given? And also being introduced to the basic skill sets of Earth observation. So far so good. So some of the success stories, having had GLOBE being active for roughly almost 20 years in the country, is that students have been empowered, to become young scientists, by engaging in real-world environment data collection and analysis, which in our country, it has been a bit slow, but so far, we can see the impact GLOBE is having on students when it comes to science. And the teachers, there's a bit of enhanced teacher capacity to deliver inquiry-based science education and integrate citizen science into their classroom. I mean, as they deliver the curriculum, the content, they have practicals that they can do, but still ties to GLOBE. Other than that, we fostered global collaboration by connecting students, teachers, and scientists to address shared environmental challenges. This is basically where, yes, we are collecting data in Kenya, but it's done globally at the same time. So it's quite a collaboration. And then directly supporting SDG 4, 6, 13, 14, and 15, which is policy education, climate action. We have, and environmental stewardship through community-driven science. So talking about SDGs, we have had organizations who are in the strategic goal is more on environmental monitoring. And they have been really interested and actually putting into use the GLOBE data. So we've seen, this happening, and we look forward to more of this. And lastly is GLOBE has provided access to high quality globally distributed data collected by students, enriching scientific research and outreach, both nationally and globally. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. And now from the United States, Peggy and Leanne.
30 years of GLOBE at Kingsburg High School, and here we are in the early days. In 1995, I was a high school teacher searching for local air quality and water quality data for students to explore environmental issues in the California Central Valley. When I received a letter about a program called GLOBE, having students collect and analyze not only air and water, but also soils and land cover as well, I was hooked. Students would take ownership of the data they personally collected. GLOBE also provided satellite imagery of their school. Notice the 1995 floppy disk technology, and facilitated communication with other schools worldwide through GLOBE mail, a new concept back then. After training, I began integrating GLOBE activities into my biology classes, followed by other science teachers. Teachers of other subjects were inspired to join as well. With the help of a grant, our efforts expanded into the Kings River Integrated Studies Project. We called it CRISP. Integrating the educators into collaborative teams, creating cross-curricular activities, not just science. The grant provided the time for the educators to compare curricula and find overlaps that turned into a variety of exciting collaborative projects. An important outcome was that those students who didn't do well in traditional classroom settings often thrived outdoors in the river environment, turning them into standout contributors to their peers. They became the superstars. Science students conducted GLOBE macroinvertebrate analyses, land cover assessments, chemical tests, and environmental research spanning 16 years along the nearby waterway in Yosemite. Kingsburg student teams were invited to present their investigations at 4 global learning expeditions between 1998 and 2008, mainly focusing on local air and water quality issues. And here we have a group that went to Helsinki, presented, met some people, were invited to their community, and we invited them to Kingsburg the next year, and we had all kinds of collaborations after that. Leanne was a key student in this, and this is Leanne, in the second GLE project, comparing Yosemite habitats to West Virginia habitats on the same latitude. Her specialty was macroinvertebrate ID and organizing our live presentations between two sites. And I'd like to make a shout out to Ruth Ann Cole, our partner teacher. I see she's at the conference, and I haven't seen her in 25 years.
So my story obviously starts as a student under Peggy, and as a Globe student, I had experiences that stayed with me throughout my life and directly influenced my choice of careers as a science teacher. Through the program, I learned the importance of collecting consistent data and following protocols, and then I also had a sense of ownership over this data, so I wanted to keep the story going. In 2013, I took over for Peggy when she retired from her 37 years at Kingsburg High School. And over the last 12 years, I have had 3 groups of Globe students participate in the Globe Student Research Symposium, presenting their research at NASA's JPL and Ames centers, as well as other incredible research areas around the state. Through these experiences, my students were able to participate in the research process in a more relaxed way, not worrying about competition, but instead focusing on the scientific process and networking with scientists.
And you've also brought your students to Elkhorn, where I work,
yep,
and have done field trips there.
Yep.
It's been great.
Keeps it going.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Next slide, and we'll turn it from the United States to Europe and Eurasia and Croatia specifically. Deanna?
Hello, everyone. I have been country coordinator for Croatia for 30 years, since the very beginning. And I have a long memory. So I wanted in this occasion just to reflect a little bit about the time when we began with Globe, which was so very different from today. Well, Croatia is a small country. We have less than 4 million inhabitants, but our school managed to report more than 18 million data entries, which brings us to the circle of the most successful or most active country is in the region of Europe and Eurasia. Well, back in 1995, Croatia was in specific post-war situation. So many schools were damaged, people were displaced, we had a lot of refugees, equipment in schools missing or broken or very poor. So we had a lot of challenges. One of the greatest one was to connect schools to internet, because schools didn't have even computers, but not internet for educational purposes. So this was a thing to be solved in that moment, seemed like impossible. But in time, step by step, all these obstacles were resolved. But Globe didn't match with national curriculum. So because we had teaching plans at that time, and Globe could be done exclusively as extracurricular activity, which means after teaching, regular teaching hours. What we did have was a teacher's motivation. And I'm still admiring the teachers who were so enthusiastic at this very beginning, because they recognized that Globe is something new, something fresh, something different, attractive, different from anything else that they have experienced before. And they felt like Globe is connecting them to the world. And students were also motivated because the idea that they are helping scientists to better understand the changes in environment. So we had in first years a huge jump by the number of schools involved and by the number of data reported. So later on, we tried to continue in such a pace. Speaking of impact, in these first years, I remember that many teachers actually learned how to use computer and internet on our trainings. So they didn't have any contact before. Actually, many schools got their first computers on internet for the purpose of Globe. Of course, later on it became quite common. But in this first time, it was really the impact of Globe in developing ICT literacy. Finally, in 2016, we had new curriculum, which was more open and which allowed Globe to be implemented in regular teaching. In fact, we managed to incorporate some Globe methodology and Globe protocols in some of STEM subjects curriculum. So when we speak about impact, we certainly can say that Globe had huge impact on our educational system. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana. And finally, Bedar is going to speak about Oman.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, and welcome to all attendees. In the Sultanate of Oman, we are celebrating the 15th anniversary of implementing the GLOBE program. The journey began on December 8, 2009, with the signing of Memorandum of Understanding to implement the GLOBE program in Omani schools. The agreement was signed by Her Excellency Under Secretary of the Ministry of Education and Deputy Administrator for External Relations at NASA, in the presence of the Ambassador of the United States of America in Sultanate of Oman. There has been a focused effort to gradually include several schools in the program each year, following a clear plan that aimed to reach 60 schools by the year 2024 through the GLOBE program. The Ministry of Education, the Sultanate of Oman, has sought to improve student achievement in science and mathematics, as well as to enhance environmental awarenesses. To achieve this, special attention has been given to involving all segments of society by engaging government and private sectors, as well as organizations such as the Environment Society of Oman. This is done through an annual GLOBE program forum, where environmental challenge discussed become a research problem for students who work to find solution with scientific research framework. All the effort made by Ministry of Education, the Sultanate of Oman, have contributed to make GLOBE program impactful on the community. For example, in Oman, afalag are known to be important for agriculture sector. Afalag are channels that originate from underground reservoirs located deep within the earth, gradually bringing water to the surface through these channels to irrigate palm trees and agriculture crops. In one of the villages, the student research team of the GLOBE program at school near the Falag noticed decrease in the amount of water. The student used protocols and discovered an increase in the salinity level of the Falag water. They advised the villagers in that area to clean the village channel from salt deposit. As a result, the water level returned to normal level. Thank you for this opportunity.
So we are going to do a little bit of a lightning round. One person will speak for each region to these, and we can shift between, but please keep it quite brief and highlight one challenge or roadblock that you have faced while implementing Globe, and what lessons have emerged from this. So we'll start, Joanne, with you for this one.
Thank you. I think one major challenge, I would say, the time constraints and competing priorities in the school system, limiting the adoption of inquiry-based applications like Globe. But in situations where we take the data collection of different protocols and incorporate it into the curriculum in a way of teaching a certain context or content in the curriculum, becomes a bit easier. So this was basically a lesson out of a challenge. That is aligning Globe activities with curriculum goals, improve basically acceptance and implementation, showing the reason, the importance of having Globe into the embedding it into the curriculum. The other challenge, of course, is funding limitations, especially for resource constrained settings. But we always have a way to work around it. Yeah, also the lessons is basically teacher champions and school leadership support are actually crucial for successful integration of the Globe program. As a country, we still champion for that, and we look forward to a time where we'll come with a lot of stories about how we'll be able to cover different parts of the country, especially underserved regions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peggy and Leanne.
All right, so kind of echoing that was just said, time constraints, definitely one of the biggest challenges, but also just protocols not being followed completely or not incorporating important metadata or comments when taking the data, and obviously a less than ideal weather station site. And so some of the lessons that we've learned is, helping technology, kind of bringing that in to support what the students are doing can be useful in saving time. And obviously the Observer app helps with that. And just having those teachable moments for future students where they're kind of struggling with looking at some of this older data and saying, I can't make sense of this. So kind of showing them, well, that's why it's important to make sure you're taking that metadata, making sure you're writing those observations. And so that kind of helped us to do future activities, letting those students work through those challenges. Yeah, just making sure that, you just kind of keep moving, that it's not a marathon, or it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You kind of keep going and it will get better over time.
Metadata. Make those points.
I love the it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So love that. Perfect analogy. All right. And now we'll go to Diana from Croatia.
Yes. One of the lessons that we learned is that just collecting the data is not enough to sustain motivation of the teachers and students. So back in 1998, we launched National Globe Games. And this is the opportunity for students and teachers to meet and exchange and inspire each other. And our Globe Games consist of two parts. One is that student teams compete in knowledge and skills about Globe. So this is what is presented on the picture from this year's competition. And the second part is the review of research projects. And we wanted to stimulate this using the data and with the promoting of this research project. So just one lesson.
I will share in just one challenge. The implementation of the Globe program in the Sultanate of Oman faced several challenges in its early stage. Among the most prominent were the lack of awarenesses about the program and its objectives among the schools and teachers, as well as the need to train educational staff in how to use scientific protocols. To solve this problem, Ministry of Education organized specialized training workshop for teachers and prepare them to serve as a core group for disseminating the program. Educational also guide developed in Arabic and simplified scientific tools suitable for school environments were provided through collaboration between the Ministry of Education and oil companies. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Peliam?
Yeah. At least we have at least 2 or 3 roadblocks. The first one is a big challenge to do global observation at noon time, because noon is the time for students to eat lunch and take a nap. But our global school still work very hard to collect the data. In the past 12 years, we already have collected more than 3 million data points. The second barrier is language barrier. Actually, still have many students have English language barrier. So we help to translate the global material and hosted English presentation skill workshop for teachers and students. The other challenge is a high turnover rate among teachers and students have posed difficulty for inter-school global cooperation. We provide the management support to assist the school in implementation and knowledge transfer, helping overcome challenge and ensure continuity across the participating school. The third barrier is our teacher and student are too busy. They have so many activities need to participate in, so they need to share their time to do the group. But we still have many teachers and students very appreciate the global program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Peliam. And I'll turn it to Aline to speak for the LAC team.
Okay, as a challenge, I think is for us in LAT, we have a problem with language, because in Latin America, Caribbean, we have different language over here, and problem with budget, because we don't have a lot of support for travel around the country to give workshop and buy instruments for the schools, and also a lack of trainers, because we are a big region, so we need more trainers to be able to give more workshop. And the learning lessons, I can talk about the tree campaign. Then you could engage a lot of students and teachers in our region, and also collaboration between us, between countries, so you can work together and get some research about some subjects.
Thank you so much. Okay, and now, of course, we get to the really exciting piece, which is, as we're celebrating 30 years of Globe, what are your hopes, dreams, or visions for the next 30 years? And again, we will have to be very succinct and highlight one, because we are about to run out of time, but I want to make sure we get to everyone. So we'll start with Peggy and Leanne.
All right, so it helps that Peggy, her passion really got KHS Globe as an institution. So it's well known in our community, and it's really awesome to have students that are continuing the work of their own family members, their own siblings, that I'm able to show them, data that I collected. And so we just kind of keep that momentum going. And so they feel that sense of ownership over the data. And so I just want to make sure that, since so many individuals have been impacted by Globe, that I aim to ensure that its benefits continue for decades to come. And I have Peggy to thank for that. So just thankful to ride her coattails.
Good coattails.
Yeah.
And we've had lots of quotes from lots of students lately, and getting in touch with us
It's
again.
been really neat to get in touch with all the former.
And we're looking forward to that globe map of alumni.
Wonderful. Thank you. Peliam?
In the near future, we will keep deepening the international cooperation and student-led research. We will try to enhance PBL learning, that is problem-based learning based on the global program. We hope to tightly link curriculum with the global program, especially for different global protocols. Moreover, we plan to integrate all technologies and drone observation to enhance student technology literacy and address the environmental challenge. Therefore, we plan to invite more experts and scientists to strengthen interdisciplinary and cross-sector cooperation. To maximize the impact of the global program in Taiwan, we aim to strengthen student scientific inquiry and sustainability literacy by integrating local resources and technology. We try to close cooperate with Central Weather Administration and Environmental Protection Ministry to collect all the possible resources and to enhance the global program quality and to let the student have the more resources to use. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Joanne?
I think for me, just to empower learners, the educators and communities across Kenya to be environmentally aware, through the environmental science education and also promoting data-driven decision making. Sustainability, of course, in our communities and different societies. Thank you.